1944. 0800 hours. Imperial General Headquarters, Tokyo. The air hangs thick with the acrid bite of cigarette smoke, mingling with the faint scent of polished teak from the war room's massive table. General Hideki Tojo leans forward, his uniform starched to perfection, as a junior intelligence officer. Captain Hiroshi Tanaka unfurls a grainy reconnaissance photo, hands trembling slightly under the weight of the room's scrutiny. The image shows a colossal aircraft on a distant runway, wings spanning wider than a city block, its silver skin gleaming under the Kansas sun. Whispers ripple through the assembled commanders, but Tojo's lips curl into a smirk. This is the Americans' great hope? He scoffs, voice dripping with disdain. You can almost hear the collective exhale, the tension breaking like a wave on Iwo Jima's black sands. Around the table, faces hardened by years of conquest, Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto's successor, Mineichi Koga, and Army Chief of Staff Hajime Sugiyama exchange glances. Tanaka stands through his briefing. The Boeing B-29 Superfortress, a behemoth bomber capable of flying at 30,000 feet, beyond the reach of most Japanese interceptors. Pressurized cabins for the crew, remote-controlled gun turrets, a bomb bay that could swallow 20,000 pounds of ordnance. But Tojo waves it off, pounding the table with a fist. A lumbering giant, slow, vulnerable, a target for our Zeros to pick apart like crows on carrion. Laughter erupts, harsh, barking sounds that echo off the walls adorned with maps of the expanding empire, from Manchuria to the Solomons. In that smoke-filled chamber, arrogance reigns supreme. These men, architects of Pearl Harbor's thunderous success, have seen American carriers splinter under kamikaze dives, their battleships sink in fiery graves. Why fear this new machine? Reports from spies in the States painted as plagued by engine fires, structural flaws, prototypes crashing in flames during test flights. The Yankees pour their resources into toys, Sugiyama chuckles, adjusting his spectacles, while we forge warriors. Tojo nods, his mind already shifting to the next offensive in Burma. The B-29? Dismissed as propaganda, a desperate bluff from a nation reeling from Midway's reversal. But beneath the mockery, a subtle undercurrent stirs. Tanaka's eyes dart away, knowing the specs don't lie. The Superfortress could strike from bases in China or the Marianas if captured, bringing the war to Japan's sacred soil for the first time since the Doolittle raid. As the meeting adjourns, officers file out into the crisp Tokyo morning, cherry blossoms drifting like forgotten warnings. Tojo lingers, staring at the photo. A fleeting doubt? No, he crumples it, tossing it aside. The Empire's skies are impregnable, their anti-aircraft guns a web of steel death. Yet thousands of miles away, in the dusty fields of Wichita, assembly lines hum day and night, birthing these silver beasts. The first squadrons are already deploying to India, engines roaring in defiance. What if the laughter fades? What if the giants awaken? The officers scatter to their duties, blind to the storm brewing. But in the quiet corridors of power, one question lingers unspoken. How long can mockery shield them from the flames? November 24th, 1944, 0230 hours. A moonless sky over the Pacific, 400 miles south of Honshu. The drone of 4 Wright R-3350 engines slices through the night like a scalpel. Inside the pressurized cocoon of dauntless Dottie, Colonel Robert Morgan grips the yoke, sweat beading beneath his oxygen mask despite the minus 40-degree chill at 27,000 feet. Below, the blacked-out Japanese homeland lies defenseless, its cities asleep, unaware that the first B-29 combat mission is already overhead. You can taste the metallic tang of fear in the cockpit. Navigator Lieutenant James Jimmy Price peers through the Norden bomb site, its crosshairs trembling over Tokyo's Nakajima aircraft factory. "Target in sight," he whispers, voice crackling over the intercom. But the wind is howling at 200 knots, altitude freezing the bomb bay doors. One by one, the 500-pounders tumble out, wide of the mark, plunging into the dark like futile tears. Back at Saipan's Isley Field, ground crews curse the empty bomb racks, the wasted fuel, the engines that coughed flames on takeoff. The Superfortress is a marvel on paper, but in the cruel Pacific theater, it's bleeding. Back in Tokyo, the mockery only grows louder. Intercepted radio chatter reaches Imperial HQ by dawn. Only 88 B-29s reached Japan. 14 turned back with mechanical failures, bombs scattered like buckshot. General Tojo, now Minister of War, slams a report on the table. "See, I told you, lumbering targets." Newspapers trumpet the failure. American superbomber flees in shame. Fighter pilots in the 47th Sentai toast with sake, dreaming of easy kills when the next wave comes. But across the ocean, a new commander is watching, learning, burning with cold fury. Enter Major General Curtis LeMay, December 1944, Guam. The cigar clenched in his teeth glows like a fuse. He paces the Quonset hut, maps pinned with red pins marking every aborted mission. "High altitude's not working," he growls to his staff. "Too damned cold, too damned windy, too damned inaccurate." The B-29 was built to precision bomb from the stratosphere, but Japan's factories are small, dispersed, hidden in wooden cities. LeMay's eyes narrow. A radical idea forms, one that will make the laughter in Tokyo choke on smoke. He orders the impossible: strip the B-29s of guns, gunners, armor. Fly low, at night, with fire. The staff gasps. "Sir, that's suicide. Zeros will tear us apart." LeMay's response is ice, not if there's nothing left to defend. Test runs begin in secret, engines tuned for low-level runs, bomb bays loaded not with high explosives, but M69 incendiary clusters, each a cluster of napalm-filled tubes designed to scatter and burn. The Superfortress, once a high-altitude sniper, is being reborn as a flamethrower. March 4th, 1945, Tinian Island. 334 B-29s line the runways like silver sharks. LeMay stands on the tower, stopwatch in hand. No more 30,000 feet. Tonight they'll skim the wave tops at 5,000 feet, radar guided, under the cover of darkness. The target? Tokyo. Not factories, the city itself. Wooden homes packed like kindling, paper walls, tatami floors. One spark, and the whole capital becomes a furnace. Pilots exchange uneasy glances. This isn't war as they trained for it. This is annihilation. As the first engines thunder to life, LeMay's voice crackles over the radio. "Burn the heart out of the beast." The armada lifts off, bellies heavy with 1,665 tons of fire. Destination, the sleeping dragon. The laughter in Tokyo is about to turn to screams. March 9, 1945. 23:57 hours. 5,000 feet above Tokyo Bay. The first wave of B-29s, call sign streamers, slices through the darkness like silver knives. Inside Z-12, pilot Captain Robert "Rosie" Rosenthal feels the aircraft lighten as the bomb bay doors yawn open. No flak bursts at this altitude, no searchlights, just the low growl of engines and the faint smell of gasoline seeping through the vents. Below, the Sumida River glitters black, a ribbon threading through a city of 6.7 million souls. You can almost smell the fear rising from the streets. Tokyo's air raid sirens wail too late. The B-29s are already over the city, pathfinders dropping clusters of M47 incendiaries to mark the X. Each bomb splits mid-air, vomiting 100 napalm-filled tubes that scatter like burning seeds. They hit rooftops, slide through paper shoji screens, ignite tatami mats. Within minutes, the Asakusa district is a constellation of orange blooms. Winds whip the flames into a cyclone. The firestorm is born. On the ground, 15-year-old schoolgirl Michiko Tanaka clutches her mother in a narrow alley off the Ginza. The sky is no longer black. It's a pulsing red brighter than noon. "The sun is falling," she screams. as a wall of heat slams into them, sucking the air from their lungs. Wooden houses collapse like matchsticks, asphalt bubbles, canals boil. The temperature spikes to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. Iron bridges twist like licorice. People sprint for the rivers only to find the water itself on fire, oil slicks igniting from drifting embers. Back in the cockpits, the crews see hell reflected in their windows. Bombardier Lieutenant Thomas Malone watches the inferno spread, a living thing devouring block after block. Jesus, it's like dropping matches on dry grass, he mutters. The B-29s fly in perfect formation, wave after wave, 279 aircraft in total, unloading 1,665 tons of incendiaries in a single, merciless hour. No defensive fire, no Zeros. The Japanese night fighters are grounded, fuel-starved, pilots asleep. The mockery of 1944 has become a funeral pyre. By 0200 hours, the Firestorm has its own weather. Superheated air rises at 500 feet per second, creating 150-mile-per-hour winds that rip roofs from factories and hurl them skyward like burning kites. Over 16 square miles of Tokyo are gone. The Imperial Palace, untouched by high explosives, now glows in the distance, ringed by a moat of flame. Emperor Hirohito stands on a balcony, face pale, watching his capital die. For the first time, the Son of Heaven whispers, "Is this the end?" In the bunkers beneath Ichigaya, General Tojo's staff scramble through smoke-filled corridors. Telephones melt, radios crackle with panic. The city is burning, we have no water, no hoses. Tojo himself stares at a map now meaningless, red pins swallowed by a single, spreading blot. The laughter is gone, in its place a hollow silence. One aide dares to speak. The Americans, they've turned the sky into a weapon. Tojo's hand trembles as he reaches for a sake cup, but it shatters in the heat seeping through the walls. At 0230, the last B-29 banks west, engines fading into the night. Behind them, Tokyo is a furnace. Over 100,000 dead in 6 hours, most asphyxiated or cooked alive. 1 million homeless. The stench of charred flesh drifts for miles. And still the fires burn. For 3 days. But the reversal is only beginning. LeMay's gamble has worked beyond his wildest calculations. The B-29, once a laughingstock, has become the Empire's nightmare. And the raids are just starting. Osaka, Nagoya, Kobe, they're next on the list. The question now isn't if Japan will burn, but how much will be left when the ashes settle.
0600 hours. Tinian Island, Northfield. The returning B-29s touch down one by one, tires screeching on coral runway, bellies scorched black from the updraft of Tokyo's inferno. Major General Curtis LeMay stands on the tarmac, cigar long gone cold, eyes fixed on the crews spilling out like ghosts. No cheers, no backslaps, just stunned silence. Pilot Captain Raymond Hap Halloran staggers down the ladder, face soot-streaked, whispering, "We didn't bomb a city. We erased it." You can feel the weight in the air, heavier than the 500-pounders they dropped. Intelligence officers swarm with cameras, debrief forms, questions no one wants to answer. Photos from the recon bird, a stripped-down B-29 named Pathfinder, roll in by noon. Tokyo reduced to a gray smear, the Sumida a steaming scar, the Imperial Palace an island in a sea of ash. LeMay stares at the prince, jaw clenched. "We broke their will," he says, voice flat. "Now, we break the rest." Across the Pacific, the reversal hits like a second firestorm. In the smoldering ruins of Asakusa, survivors crawl from drainage pipes, skin blistered, hair singed to stubble. A firefighter, Sergeant Kenji Sato stumbles through streets where bodies lie fused to melted bicycles. He finds a child's wooden sandal, soul still warm. No tears left, just the hollow echo of sirens long dead. Word spreads by whispered rumor. The Gaijin have weaponized the night itself. The B-29 is no longer a bomber. It's a god of wrath. Back in Tokyo's bunkers, the high command fractures. General Hajime Sugiyama convenes an emergency council at 1400 hours, maps now charcoal sketches. "We must sue for peace," pleads Foreign Minister Shigenori Togo, voice cracking. Admiral Koshiro Oikawa slams the table. "Never! The Emperor's honor." But the words die as a runner bursts in, ash on his uniform. Nagoya is burning, same pattern, low, at night, unopposed. Silence. Then Tojo, gaunt and unshaven, speaks the unthinkable. "We laughed at their silver giants. Now they laugh at us." LeMay wastes no time. March 11, Osaka, 274 B-29s, 1,733 tons of fire. 8 square miles gone. March 13, Nagoya, 285 aircraft, 1,774 tons. Another 8 miles. March 16, Kobe, 331 bombers, 2,355 tons. The pattern is merciless, surgical, inevitable. Each raid strips another layer of Japan's industrial skin. Steel mills melt. Aircraft plants collapse. Workers flee factories before the sirens even sound. Production of Zero fighters plummets 60% in a week. The Empire's war machine is starving in its own smoke. On Saipan, the ground crews work in a frenzy. Armorers load M69s by the thousands, each cluster a promise of conflagration. Engineers patch engine cowlings scorched by heat mirages. A new tactic emerges. Mix in a few high-explosive bombs to rupture water mains, ensuring no firefighting can stop the blaze. LeMay's staff calls it the LeMay fire blanket. Pilots call it hell with a flight plan. April 1st, 1945. The raids pause, but only to regroup. LeMay stares at a wall map, red circles blooming like bloodstains. Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, Kobe. Next, the big one. Operation Meeting House was just the overture. The B-29 fleet now numbers over 500, bases sprawling across the Marianas like steel cities. Fuel lines snake from tankers. Runways extend into the jungle. And in the hangars, a new weapon waits. The atomic bomb. Still secret, still months away. But LeMay doesn't know that yet. He doesn't need to. The fire is enough. In Tokyo, Emperor Hirohito summons his council to the palace bomb shelter. The air reeks of mildew and fear. He asks one question. How many more nights, like March 9th? No one answers. Outside, refugees stream south carrying what little they salvaged: a rice bowl, a family photo, a child's charred doll. The laughter of 1944 is a distant memory. The Empire's sky is no longer theirs. And somewhere over the Pacific, another armada forms. Engines warm. Bomb bays yawn. The silver giants are coming back.
July 28, 1945. 0200 hours. 7,000 feet above the Kure Naval Arsenal. The night is thick with monsoon humidity, but the B-29s fly through it like avenging spirits. Colonel Bruce Mars, leading the 73rd Bomb Wing, banks Lucky Lady over Hiroshima Bay, the city lights winking out below as blackout curtains drop. Tonight's target isn't wood and paper, it's steel and pride, the last of Japan's fleet huddled in harbor. Battleships Yamato's sisters, carriers, cruisers, all scarred, but still afloat. You can feel the sea salt on your tongue, the thrum of 1,200 superfortresses now in theater. Since March, LeMay's fire blanket has scorched 58 cities, 178 square miles of urban Japan reduced to cinders. Civilian deaths top 500,000. Industrial output is a ghost. And still, the military clings to Ketsugo, the suicidal plan to bleed America on Kyushu's beaches. Tonight, LeMay aims to drown that delusion in burning oil. Pathfinders drop magnesium flares, turning the harbor into daylight. Then, the deluge. 1,000-pound armor piercers, 500-pound GPs, M47 napalm bombs for the dockyards. The battleship Haruna takes the first hit, a direct strike through the forward turret. Flames erupt 200 feet high. The carrier Katsuragi lists as bombs shear her flight deck. Dock workers leap into the water, only to find it slick with burning fuel. Screams carry on the wind, but the B-29s press on, wave after wave, unmolested. Japan's night fighters are grounded, fuel tanks empty, pilots dead or fled. In Tokyo, the Imperial bunker banker is a tomb. Emperor Hirohito, robes hanging loose on his frame, listens to the latest casualty reports. His voice is soft, almost childlike. The people, they suffer. Prime Minister Kantaro Suzuki bows, tears streak soot on his cheeks. Majesty, the Americans offer no terms but unconditional surrender. Hirohito turns to the map, red circles now swallowing Honshu whole. For the first time, he speaks the unspeakable. We must end this. August 6, 1945, 0815 hours. Enola Gay, a silver dart at 31,000 feet, releases Little Boy. The flash is silent from above, but on the ground, Hiroshima vanishes in a heartbeat. 70,000 dead in seconds. 3 days later, Boxcar drops Fat Man on Nagasaki. The B-29, once laughed at, has delivered the sun itself. August 10. The Supreme War Council meets in a sweltering shelter. General Korechika Anami, sword at his side, demands one last battle. Let the Americans come. We will fight with bamboo spears. But the room is split. Outside, refugees clog the roads, carrying white flags made from bed sheets. The Emperor's recorded surrender speech is cut, pressed, ready. On August 14th, it is broadcast. Hirohito's voice, thin and trembling, reaches every corner of the empire. The war situation has developed not necessarily to Japan's advantage. September 2nd, 1945, 0900 hours, Tokyo Bay, USS Missouri. General Douglas MacArthur stands on the deck, the B-29 flyover roaring overhead like thunder. Below, Foreign Minister Mamoru Shigemitsu signs the instrument of surrender, pen shaking. Tojo, under arrest, watches from a prison cell, face blank. The silver giants circle once, then vanish west. In the ruins of Tokyo, a child finds a melted Coca-Cola bottle fused to the pavement. The war is over. The laughter died in March. The ashes still speak.